can go up to height and like potentially contest for that. The problem is on Icebox, it's just like so open. Anyway, let's just wait and see. No Waylay in sight though. So unfortunately, we will not get to view that timeline, but we will get to view the timeline where both teams seem to lock in a Vice, which is definitely fun, and we're also going to be seeing that Mirror, Yoru, Astra, and Sova.
I was low-key expecting to see the Chamber coming out from Nightshade here along with the Vice, so it doesn't necessarily change how I kind of feel, but like, you knew that Nightshade was able to top K9 unit when it came to the Chamber battles. Who's to say that now when it becomes those similar lurk battles on a big map like Pearl, is Andy Yoshi going to be just a bit more superior on this Vice than Tonka? Who knows, right? Of course, we got to let them play this game out, do the shooting. But no Waylay equals win, question mark?
Yeah, I could see it.
It just looks so uncomfortable for Strong Tall Guy. I mean, they don't have any flashes in the prior map, and now they come in with the Yoru with the get out of jail free card that's actually one that can still give them space or pressure, because the ability to fake that teleportation. I mean, Nightshade, this is in their basket, it feels like. K9 unit, they've displayed everything on the table, and now it's just up to how good the dinner is, or who will come out on top.
I'm thinking, well, these compositions are very similar, but I think I prefer K9s in this, but we'll just have to wait and see. Both are definitely strong, and we'll just have to find out who is really going to be the one to take away the win.
The agonizing time of waiting for the game to start. We all know that the tables are here. They have turned slightly in map number 2, but will they complete the full 360 and end up back with Nightshade in the winning seat? Or will it be them just staying there? A9 unit, what have they got in store for us? We know the ISO has proved to be a valuable character in ranked games, in even this tournament, but now, what can it pull up on Pearl? Especially when these kill contracts haven't 100% been going your way. Of course, you can't ask them to be perfect, but when it matters, will you end up dropping to the nerves? Will you convert into the victory and the flames?
Now, this is the first time since the quarterfinals. I don't think we've seen a single 3-map series from either team, so this is definitely going to be a new experience for them in this tournament, which is why I do favor K9 unit. They have that experience compared to Nightshade. K9 unit, they've been playing in the Kivo DRS for a while in Season 1. Season 2, they come out swinging with a first blood on map number 3 and make it a second, able to take this even further. Nightshade already on the ropes.
Yeah, just 3 players remaining for Nightshade. And the bomb plant coming down from their opponents, not going to be the greatest of scenarios. And hopefully this retake has at least some signs of life. I would like to see them working together, if not even winning. And it's just one player showing their hand a bit too early. They get taken down. And is this just flawless out of the pistol? Yes, it is. Aspas with 3, heavy damage done to a few, but it doesn't matter as long as you win the round. K9 unit, very convincing pistol. And Nightshade, you got me a little bit worried.
Aspas has been playing multiple different roles throughout this game. We've seen them on the Clove. We're seeing them on the ISO. And we've just gotten confirmation from our producer. This is the first time in the entirety of the Season 2 first Kivo VRS League where we will be seeing a best of 3 go the distance at a 3-map series. And honestly, I don't think in the entirety of the either rounds we've in the games we've casted yesterday or the games we've casted today, I don't think we've seen an overtime once. So if that comes out tonight, that certainly would be interesting. But right now, K9 unit, they're going aggressive, but they're going to be hit with even more by the side of Nightshade.
Mid walk down here, a bit perplexing for me. I mean, obviously it's going to find its value or it's not, right? And you're just going to have to go with this inserted player and hope for the best. But the B anchors, right? They're kind of just stuck in no man's land right now. They're just waiting for mid players to do something. Hello, Shadows. I mean, what was that? That was crisp with a capital P. Like, that was beautiful. Unfortunately, Strong Tall Guy will not find the same beauty as they will end up going down to pop a Smurf. And Yoshi now, unfortunately, just a classic. Not even the Sen Classic, just the DFM. Will it be as good? The answer, no. Just down to Mr. Weagle. And remember, this is an eco round, but you hope to do as much damage as possible. Weagle looks like they're most likely just going to go down to bomb here. Not exactly trying to look out and make a play here, but it looks like actually they are. And maybe they shouldn't have, as Ospas will take them down with a rifle and grab another L-Torbs for themselves.
No target.
K9 unit, they're starting off strong. Now the question becomes, will they be able to convert this into a bonus? Now, side of Nightshade, their economy is looking very strong with all rifles, but Mr. Weagle only on a Guardian and Strong Tall Guy, having only those light shields. K9 unit, bringing in the operator already on round number 3. This is a very risky move. If this doesn't work for you, your economy is going to not actually matter too much, because I believe it was bought for them. 2,700 credits remaining, but this is definitely not the move that one would be traditionally looking for, so that could potentially give a little bit of a surprise towards the side of Nightshade, give them a spook, potentially. We'll just have to wait and see what this can get the value out of, because realistically, an operator in B-Long can be such a strong ability. Sheen gets picked out, but despite taking a little bit of high ground, not going to find anything. The rotations already getting pulled off the B site.
It's a miraculous fake, by the way, over towards A, assuming that it does end up a fake. Ospas will go down, and that pressure from Tonka should be still applied. This kill now, the next one, it is going to matter. You see both Astras kind of taking a peek at each other towards mid. And now the timing, the jig is up. You need to push into this site if you are K9 unit. And unit, the player, of course, still with an up. It's not the easiest world for them to do so. They've already used their clones, so chances are they can't exactly Durka it and fake clone their way into sight. And all these rotates are going to get here. A little bit of a mistake comes through as the call. It's not quite on the right timeline. Weagle pick up theirs on Tonka. And now you're stuck. Now you can't back up to A site. You'd have to clear the rest of the map. Now you don't even have those smokes. Not enough to get you a clean execute. Mr. Weagle gonna get caught off guard. Snowing with the stinger will show them how it's done. And Yoshi a little bit wide on the initial shots, but this flash has to be good now, and everybody's blind, including themselves. Make that just a 1v1 now. And Strong Tall. And perfect. It feels like, at least in this round, they'll able to bring Nightshade there first. And grab it up for their reward.
Nightshade, they are still in the contesting. They're still in the running. But right now, it really is going to come down to, will the side of K9 unit be able to recover from that? Because they lost the operator that K9 unit had. They're going to be forced onto an outlaw, which honestly is not the worst situation. If we look at the shields from Nightshade, that leaves them with one body shot to kill. It's very strong, and they can really crack through these shields. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. But Nightshade, they are contesting the right places. They have presence where they need. 1, 2, 1, 1, 1 is going to be the lineup for the side of Nightshade. Kind of focusing on the B site, maybe B Link as well. And also having one player up towards the side of Art. Now, Shadow's already finding that first blood, able to put that outlaw offline, which is going to really limit the success that can be told against these light shields. I'm liking that from the side of Nightshade. A little bit of damage going to go down onto Shadows, but Shadows will still be alive and ready to kick, even though they are at that one shot remaining till the kill comes out.
That's what we call not an operator, an outlaw moment, where you tag the one player that has 150 HP. You get unlucky on the one target you find. Just 140. It's always annoying when you see it. But I guess maybe it will be some consequential damage into the end of this round. Strong Tall Guy, though, gonna make sure that it isn't. Suppression not tagging onto this Yoru, at least. Big spam. Ospas goes down, and now it's just a swinging through the smoke. Everybody goes on down. Flawless fashion for Nightshade. And we may just see those signs of life that propelled him to a map 1 victory.
It's already looking strong, equalizing this Nightshade. You may have been right about them being the team to win if they don't lock in that waylay, but right now, without that waylay, they have already equalized it. They've already taken the advantage economically, so all that's really left is to be able to shut the door and take this half. On the attacking side, you would expect K9 unit to be doing a little bit stronger due to that double duelist composition being excessively good against operators like what Shadows has, since you do get that double tap ability, which allows you to just take one for free. But NIGHTSHADE have been playing extremely good when it comes to being able to hold K9 unit out. That is not to say that K9 unit have been playing bad. It's just been the reads coming out from the side of NIGHTSHADE that have just kind of been developed them further and further. There's going to be a rotation, but NIGHTSHADE, they hold strong, they stay disciplined. They do not rotate to the A site completely, but they will start to be manipulated by it.
I mean, it doesn't even matter, though. Even if you do shift towards the A site, you're going to have all the time in the world as long as you hear one footstep towards the B. I mean, they still have to bait out the shear. There's in no world a way where NIGHTSHADE are cut off in these rotates and in this execute. And Yoshi, of course, gonna hear the clone going on by. And Mr. Regal now good, because as long as you have that mid space, you'll know where everybody is. It's Shadows. Now to play this little dancey game towards B, but are they aware that one player is all the way out on site? And Yoshi, no way do you go for this, but they still find it paying off. Hunter's Fury only gonna land one tag. And now potentially a punish for not doing so with a second. It's Tonka. Oh, at least the Guardian looking crispy clean. Baits out another swing and hold up a 2v2 becomes in. Tonka's going to have to find one more. It is a trade, but now it's Papa Smurf with just a Sheriff. Going to have to run to a rifle quickly if they want that upgrade. And they should have time to do so. The question is, where do they extend? Do they go CT? Do they go straight? Are they expecting of anything where they're going? The answer, not at all. Papa Smurf. Well, are we there yet to 13? Not quite, because they'll be taken down.
Gonna do it. NIGHTSHADE to secure 3 in a row there. Operator in hand now to go into most likely Shadow's hands. A good player to be able to run that op down B long. Maybe run it towards mid. We saw that a little bit yesterday, but Operator going to be bought for Shadows along with a shorty going to be in hand. So that gives them a clear decision of maybe go to B, maybe go mid. Right now, we'll have to just wait and see. They do have that Blade Storm as well, if they so do choose, once they get into a situation, maybe a post plant where they don't have any rifles nearby. But NIGHTSHADE, they have 3 ultimates on the board, and one of them being the Steel Garden. This is the perfect round to drop such as an ultimate as that. It eliminates your opponent's economy. They are all buying full shield with a rifle, so that would be a perfect example of something that would help you out completely here. Recon Bolt going to attach. Shadows taking off the angle, and now NIGHTSHADE needing to play the retake, but Shadows manipulates the shots, and now they will be able to completely call it out.
I mean, that's 2 very aggressive ults being used, and strong, tall guy gonna get pinged out, will end up with a 1-for-1 trade, but the shorty on the other side of this wall, hold up, they jump spot, and they peek with the op. Not exactly the best scenario for them, but right clicks all around, leading for just a round win for K9 unit. They tried to speed up the defenses, but they didn't wait for the Cosmic Divide to run out. And that might have just been their downfall. NIGHTSHADE, when they get too antsy with it, they lose the bank, the credits, and the operator.
3-3, NIGHTSHADE. Unfortunately, they dropped in the Steel Garden for very little benefit. But Tonka able to put theirs online as well, and got so much out of it. Unfortunately, though, NIGHTSHADE, they are still going to be in a pretty equal position. They thought they were out of it after they took the map, or they took the round win, bringing themselves to 3-2, but K9 unit are showing their persistence. They want to be able to keep this round win, because as we know, that first place prize, it's coveted, it's wanted, and K9 unit are not going to roll in their graves so easily.
Unit here over in the backside with the Dimensional Drift, just gonna spot out this free site, so they'll happily take that, as well as a free kill with the operator onto the player in street. Shield broken, knowing you have to expect somebody's here, but it will not go Shadow's way. Instead, just this 4v3 Dimensional Drift back the other way, and they're gonna commit it, because why not? Let's see if we can ping somebody out. Shot's just a bit wide on the clone, but that's probably a good thing, as they don't get blinded on up. Tonka, unfortunately, taking down Andy Yoshi, and leaving this Q new player in a very tough 1v3 with all 3 staring at the same angle. The stinger in their hands, and it will not be enough. K9 unit here to play after dropping 3 straight, respond back with 2.
It's gonna do it, NIGHTSHADE. They've started to lose the lead. It's slipping away from them. The economy's still gonna be in their favor with full rifles coming out from everyone, along with an operator going in the hands of Shadows, but this is the last round. You can attempt this. Meanwhile, over towards K9 unit, their economy is looking flourishing despite having a very rough start after the pistol round. They have come back and they have become ready to readapt themselves in this series. We see the gate crash going over to the A site that allows this Yoru to get very aggressive, but the question is going to be how aggressive do they want to get? There's going to be the Owl Drone picked out immediately. That gives a little bit of an advantage over towards the Yoru, who most players would assume that Strong Tall Guy would not be located this high up, but they catch out the operator and they will shut it down. Hunter's Fury, shot expended to just whiff and miss. With the gate crash utilized, it allows NIGHTSHADE to get out of position and just win this trade with a 1-0 lead.
And they get the numbers, but meanwhile, you have the fighting going on towards this A side. 1-for-1 trade there, but the operator acquired towards B. And although K9 unit probably should have came out with a worse result, they'll be happy with what they can salvage. An operator and still a living chance in this round, especially now that they grab that operator and take one down on the other side. Shadows over peaks just a bit more, has no timing there. That goes their way. And so now a 3v3 becomes our round. Papa Smurf holding street with this SOP, allowing for this plant to come down, but not exactly the safest route as the smoke can still be peeked on through. Looks like that will indeed come through, but it is just a clone. And where's those peaks? Where do we see everybody running on through? Hunter's Fury going to be tough to angle in that particular direction. Still tags onto a toe, though, in the back of Halls. Papa Smurf, what have you got for us? 5 HP and a dream, it appears, and make that 0. Now just one player remaining, even they're spotted out. The spray transfer, it's not good enough. And so Snowing, they'll try their best, but it'll be Mr. Weagle, their counterpart, to take them down.
We've seen a lot of close halves this series. A 6-6 to start us off, an 8-4, and now looking like this one's going to be very to the wire as well. 4-4 is going to be our scoreline with not a lot of ults to really tempt these sides to change, but now NIGHTSHADE forced to call a timeout. The economy going to be slipping away from them as well as the rounds, and despite winning, they're still in a rough spot. Now, K9 unit, they will also get the opportunity to utilize this timeout. I think for them, it's a little bit more imperative to wonder, what are we doing wrong? Because we're allowing these rounds to shift away from us, even though we're looking good. We're playing well, but NIGHTSHADE is just able to play these retakes a little bit better than us.
It looks like both of these teams have oriented their strategies around the A and B mains. You don't really see too much of that mid-pressure being applied from either side. And so, that being the case, you have both teams now kind of focused on just dumping util towards those lanes and relying on those guns to do the talking for them to acquire rounds. Is there a way that you can maybe convince these a bit more towards your way? Because although, you know, you're relying on an equal 50-50 chance, don't you want that to be maybe just like 70-30, something that'll tip the scales ever so much slightly a bit more in your favor? I think mid might be the key to that. But of course, which team is it going to be that utilizes that space first? Or which team will be punished for trying to do so?
That is definitely a good question. I think realistically, the team that's going to be way more aggressive here is going to be NIGHTSHADE. They have Strong Tall Guy, who has been playing time and time again, able to get those picks and early on aggression. It seems like they want to do it again. Yes, they do. See both duelists pushing up aggressively. Dart's going to be coming out as well towards main. Strong Tall Guy looking to set up a clone to potentially take the hit of this damage. Shadows as well push up aggressively. Still hasn't activated Tailwind, so they don't have that get out of jail free card just yet, but immediately hearing the first, getting the kill. The Strong Tall Guy going to be hurt as well, but the gate crash activated. But that's the operator down, and that will give the side of K9 unit more weaponry to work with.
It's you and me.
I don't hate that play. The kill contract, though, does tag onto 1, and maybe, just maybe, if this goes your way, you'll find a much better result. Yes, QNU, gonna be happy that you actually sucked them into the kill contract, as this will allow for the trades to go your way. The operator holding the repeat, but no longer. And instead, you've got everybody kind of just playing this game of a labyrinth in mid.
Oh, this pinch.
They're
They're not going to be able to predict the Yoru, though.
Or will they? No, they will not. Yeah, unit.
You're not going to expect that. Both players coming from different angles.
Especially with an op. Like, hey, let me just clear these corners with an op real quick.
30 seconds left.
I don't hate this. I think Mr. Weagle can go crazy here, and if they do that, that could give NIGHTSHADE the lead they need, the boost they need in momentum. Right now, never mind. They're going to be able to get that, but that might give them a little bit of tunnel vision. And if they don't realize that they have to peek that other corner, despite having 3 stars, it could become a very dangerous situation. Okay, never mind. They will have the intuition to clear everything. 2 flashes for Strong Tall Guy. but will they as well? Oh, good flash, and that's gonna do it. Putting them in the driver's seat. Op shot goes a little bit too high, and now it's gonna be even more damage. Khan trying to get something. Smoke comes through and being absolutely melted down to a crisp. That's gonna do it. Nightshade takes the last round of regular. Not regular. I don't know. Not even the last round, but it's gonna be a lead given to Nightshade, 5-4, and they will be able to maintain 2 guns going to the next round.
Nightshade take the last round to be played, aka that one. So hey, we'll give them that. We'll actually respond once again. And it's always down to the wire with these two teams. You never feel completely convinced that somebody just has those ways in unless it's just won by those first kills in the longs, just the full pushes, and somebody makes a big mistake. K9 unit, they're going to be on the weaker weaponry here. 2 orbs off of Astra, but 1 for Haru. So we could see them just alt farm here. We could see them make a play off of it. I'm curious. I think they should go for the alt farm here and try and secure the 6-6 half, but it depends on how comfortable they feel going into this next half.
All right, pushing through. K9 unit. Gonna have strong, tall guy as the main defender of this site. Instantly, though, getting hit by the well. Can be seen by the Yoru as well. Wallbang starting to come out, but a kill is seen, and now not able to get the Cosmic drift off. Now it's going to lead to even more kills coming through. It's a little bit of a scrappy fight, but Shadows to be the one to stop it. That goes through. A little bit of over-aggression from the Yoru on the side of K9 unit, but they will be able to trade it back. With Shadows gone, it leaves that operator to be found, and Nightshade, we need to get something here. Drone is going to be activated. Papa Smurf to be able to break it. I'm not sure if it called out that Vice, but the triple kill, and they want more. They're going to be able to find the first, but Tonka at 7 HP. All you need to do, spray through, peeking out, and they secure the kill. Thrifty round from K9 unit to even it back up 5-5.
Oh, they just needed 1 bullet. That's gotta hurt. 7 HP on the other side. And it's just not enough. Or I guess it is enough, depending on how you look at it for K9 unit. They managed to grab 1 more round for themselves. Tonka being the hero this time. Man, the ops, the outlaws, everything we expect to happen properly, it gets thrown out the window. Whether that's one team's fault in terms of lack of control or the other one's success in terms of finding themselves some opportunity. Either way, Nightshade gonna want that one back for sure, as the Thrifty not gonna be super helpful for their chances in making a few more rounds happen.
Really aggressive here. First kill found. Steel Garden taken offline. Still gonna have that Cosmic Divide in hand if they do so choose. The B site, pretty good site to activate it on. Gonna take operators off of sight lines, so it is definitely a decent idea to drop it. But strong, tall guy playing in back sight. Although 1-for-1 will come out. There's going to be Steel Garden activated, which for Nightshade, who's on a little bit of a lower buy, that certainly is going to be favorable. And now, A9 unit. 2v4 situation. No weapons in hand except for Papa Smurf, who will have theirs back online. And strong, tall guy activating that gate crash. And A9 unit. They want to re-engage. Let's see what they can find. With Snowing taken versus engagement, they have 1 star remaining in their arsenal. Not going to drop any ults. Instead, they will just take some shots. And the strong fall guy will be that target for the shots. And they will be the first to be dismembered.
Guys, let's chill here. They still have to plant the bomb. Why are we all peeking while we're stunned? Either way, they still end up with a thrifty win. But, geez, could you make it a little bit less nerve-wracking for us, please? Nightshade.
Oh my gosh. We've seen so many thrifties.
Yeah, at least I get 6 here. I mean, this is a 6-6 half. I'm going to call it now. I don't see this going 7-5 as much as I want to say, oh, like, they could do this. Like, it just feels right for the script. It just feels right for the script.
I mean, I guess, but at the same time, like, the economy is way in the favor of Nightshade right now.
3
ults.
ults.
The side of K9 unit, they don't even have a... Oh, they do have 1 Vandal on their bottom frag player. So no offense to Unit, but Unit did really much, just like they did God's work in previous maps, but this time it seems like they're a little bit lackluster when it comes to being able to really get their operator online, because that was how they were able to thrive, being able to hit some really good op shots. This time it's no longer going to be the case. Shadow's able to back out, and they're going to put some pressure on them, but right now it's going to be a lot of ults that K9 unit can extend, and exhausting out most of them. They do still have 2, which this one's going to be a good one, dropping in that, but they will barely be able to make their way out.
They just didn't trigger the shear wall. That's the big mistake. They didn't quite get past it now, but now they will, of course. The spray into this back hall. And maybe I cursed it, maybe I didn't. Either way, it's just left down to unit, and they won't be able to do much more. Nightshade does take it 7-5 in the poem. I guess we'll end there. No complete cinema in terms of predictableness, but I guess I'll still take that my original prediction is still on the line.
Nightshade, they were able to make the upset earlier today, facing off against that number 1 seed as the number 4. They came out and they were on top. But K9 unit, they're the number 2. They were that second in command to run this tournament, but Nightshade seems to be able to do the exact same thing against them. This one's going to be a lot closer with it being 1-1 already, but at a 7-5 half. The pistol round's going to matter a lot for both these teams. The side of K9 units, you take this, you equalize the map. For Nightshade, you take this, you're 1 round away from double digits. K9 units really trying to double down, or not K9 units, sorry, Nightshade, I believe. Never mind, that is going to be K9 units, going to be really doubling down on that B execute, and they're gambling this completely with the A site only having the Vice remaining. Tonka gonna find some enemies, and they will just back off immediately, conceding all the space possible, and they will just go back to secret.
And you're going to see the 3-2-1 coming in for those players all the way through B main. They will all make it by, but here comes the execute. The Vi's just gonna disappear from there, not wanting any of the smoke just quite yet. They'll let those other avenues be explored, but as this Vice searches their way through the avenues, they'll start to realize these flanks are coming on in. Osboss already made themselves known with that shield being used, and Yoshi will pick up their one towards Art, make that potentially one more. Yes, one for both of those players mentioned, and now it's just down to Tonka, who was the first one here, and now the last. Will have to land the shots with the Sheriff. Surprising that there was no double swing there. Gives them a way into this round, Tonka. No way do you do this. Ain't no way. Doesn't tag the player in the corner, and that might have been their downfall. It's Shadows with 3 on the round, and Nightshade up to 8.
That's gonna do it. Nightshade takes the pistol round. Unfortunately, K9 unit, despite taking the first one, they were not able to replicate that success. They've gone down. Now they are really in the thick of it with 8 rounds for Nightshade. They're about to make it to 9 unless they can be thrifted. We saw it earlier today, but will we see it again? That's the question in K9 unit. They got to find something, and it seems like they're a little bit desperate to do so. With 3 sheriffs being bought, this could potentially be good for them, but they do seem to be selling all of them.
8-5 score. You'd love to make this 9. Just to have this buffer, to have your advantage in these rounds. So immaculate, so useful here. But it looks like that contact towards mid is actually just going to be a little bit of a scare off. Just an ego check for those Nightshade players to make sure they have to re-clear the space. Tonka's not going to shoot this drone. Instead, just going to let it go by. Maybe choose the timing to go for it after it. Nope, just re-clears as well with the Arc Rose. So you have these teams now kind of setting themselves up for just what you'd expect them to, which is bigger guns, go bigger, long area, and go boom.
K9. Oh, I'm dying. Okay. K9. They're going to be going for a little bit of plays towards A, but it's going to be misread. Nightshade taking this B site in kind.
Yeah, K9 unit. Just goes down there as well with their unit player falling on the site. Papa Smurf gonna show up to the party, but maybe a bit too late, as everybody will be here with their guardians, crosshairs trained. Papa Smurf, now what can you do? You're in heaven. You may just be sent down below, as you're not gonna be able to find the value you would like. It's 9-5 for Nightshade, flawless fashion on the anti-ego.
That's such a good play coming in from Nightshade, able to bring it even further. Not going to expend too many credits in this next round as well. It's looking like they could bring it 10-5, get double digits before K9 even find a single round, but they did save. So there is only going to be one player, that being Papa Smurf, who is going to be running it down with those light shields. Let's see whether or not the aggression from K9 unit will be found, because as of now they are going to have a decent read on this. Mr. Weagle in a tight spot, potentially to be called out. This Sheriff needs to go big here, but it seems as if they're only going to input the Yoru. And after that, they will back off and try and fight another day. There's going to be the first going out. Khufu finds one, and that's going to lead it to a second, but there's a little bit of pushback, but not enough, with Andy Yoshi taking the trade again, and Nightshade will secure a 4 versus 2 position. Ari, this might be GG's.
It might be GG, but maybe not. We've seen bigger leads kind of dissipate and only be closed out in the final few rounds, so very much still chances for K9 Unit to claw their way back into this one. But yeah, you have to imagine it's going to be a lot tougher as each round slips on by. Of course, this round, just a pure showing of map knowledge, understanding, hey, if we pressure the mid, they're going to have to clear us from different angles. The Astra pullback onto the Star is perfect to isolate 2 1v1s to a street. And now, it's just left to these 2 players left. They're not even going to find one victim to fall. Instead, they'll fall themselves, and Nightshade will double the score of their opponents.
It is looking good. And now it asks to ask the question. At 10-5, timeout taking place. Will this timeout really be able to change anything? Oh, which one of these times out?
Ooh.
Oh, is this a tech pause then? Or... I'm not sure.
Oh, it's both. It's going to be weird.
Yeah. Well, we're cooked.
Well, we'll see how this plays out. Worst comes to worst, we know this lobby is at 23 seconds into the next round, 10-5. I mean, yeah, timeouts being used here. Yeah, we're gonna fix that. So we're gonna swap back as we get that all settled. But I mean, going into this, right? It's 10-5. I guess you have a nice long break, right? As we try and fix the map. What do you change? Because it's not like the waylays being what's causing you problems anymore. It's just that you're getting outshot and outworked on the map.
It's rough, right? Like, neither of these teams have been playing, like, absurdly bad. It's more so just the fact that the reads have not been there so much, and there definitely is aim differences. I think it's just because of how long this game's been going on, but you can really tell that the aim is starting to decrease from some of these players, because that's just what happens, especially for, I believe it's K9. Like, you're expecting this team to basically play 5 best of 3s straight, or sorry, not 5 best of 3s, 5 maps straight, which is like, it's a lot. It honestly might be more, because we didn't stream quarterfinals, and I believe quarterfinals were today as well. So that might just be, I don't know if that's the same way that this would work, but it might be 6 best of 3s in a row, basically, with like very minimal time to break, which it's a punishing fact. It's a punishing format for sure, especially for teams that play later. Nightshade, they had a bit of a break, as we remember. They played first, K9 played second, so they got a little bit of time to relax, do their own thing, but K9, they've literally like not stopped playing Valorant for a while now.
Yeah, as much as you want to say like, oh yeah, we're here, we've been here yapping throughout these series too, we've watched it. They're the ones that actually have to be locked in for 5 hours straight at this point if you're K9 Unit, right? 2 maps plus 3 maps here, you're looking at 5 hours. And you had to VOD review before this because you had to watch the game of your opponent who was going to win and meet you in potentially that grand final. So, yeah, this has been a long day for sure, regardless of, which teams made it to the end here. Everybody still put in their full effort. And now for K9 Unit, right, coming off the back of that timeout, they're going to look to maybe make some adjustments. It is going to be that 4-man A push instead of the 4-man B push. And, well, how much can Andy Yoshi get?
That's the question. Still, no kills have been found. Very aggression will be found, but no real damage to find kills from K9 just yet. They are going to be down on the HP though, so Nightshade, they do have to really be proud of themselves for getting them to a bit of a desperate HP line.
Very peculiar. Jumping in front of a classic is very, very scary. I probably wouldn't have done that myself, but hey, it works out for them. Nightshade will find themselves once again advantageous in this round. And remember, this is the eco for K9 Unit, so the timeout may not be for this one, but they sure would like to do some damage, if not any. We've seen flawless rounds before when the ecos come through, but surely there's some sort of response. Ospas will be the one to do it. But that's about it. 11-5 for Nightshade, and they crawl within that distance of potentially being one sneeze away from the map.
That's going to do it. 11-5 is going to be our scoreline, and at this point, the door seems to be closing. The economy is going to be back for K9. They have an operator online. They're going to have Papa Smurf dropping in with a Vandal, but that Vandal, it's going to have to go very powerful because Nightshade, they have a lot of money of their own. It seems like they're going to be sticking with the Guardian despite that, just to make sure that they can keep money even if they lose a couple rounds, because as we remember, it was K9 Unit who had a little bit of a tough time closing out against Nightshade when the going got tough, but let's see if that's going to change this time, and an upshot secures K9 Unit the start. Let's see whether or not they can continue that.
Yeah, nice little first initial pick, but now Ospas with this kill contract could be their way to victory, and if they're not aware of how far this player's pushed up, I was gonna say they might be caught off guard, let this round slip, but no, they're not. They instead bring this to a 5v3 as opposed to a 4v4 in a much better scenario as they decide, hey, let's just back up. Now we can play retake if we really need to. And it looks like they will. Just going to play the smart battles as opposed to the aggressive ones, which sometimes they are aggressive, but in this scenario, love the play that we're seeing from K9 Unit.
As of now, Nightshade, they are up. They are one round away from being at that match point, but it doesn't seem like this round will be the one to do it. They look to potentially hit that A site. Even if it does get volatile and it gets bad for the side of K9 Unit, they do have the kill contract they can
30
activate.
seconds left.
Let's see whether or not that does end up coming in. There's a couple players stacked towards this A site. Smokes will start coming in, but so far, Cloudburst comes in, Cloudburst starts to dissipate, and Cloudburst will lead to a double kill, but just not going to secure the round just yet. Shadow's keeping it alive, but not alive for long. K9 secures the round, going up, finally securing a round in the second round.
As much as people complain about, how ISO can take one bullet to the shield and still live, it's also just, it's really disappointing when you have your crosshair trained perfectly on them, and then after those first two bullets, you go into the crouch. But the ISO's also doing the same thing. So in actuality, it's just like they're crouch peeking you, but with full accuracy and full speed. It's just unlucky. It really does suck that is a thing they can get away with. But hey, can't hate the player, hate the game, I guess. 11-6 on the board. K9 Unit very much still in this with two ults of their own. Potential to snowball the one round they've claimed for themselves into more. Will all be met. This A main contact.
Immediately, Ice will start to engage. Nightshade trying to get this last round in their hands. Steel Garden activated along with the Hunter's Fury. The Hunter's Fury connects to the first kill. Snowing in a difficult spot, stuck between a rock and a hard place, and wrong tall guy gonna be able to get the next kill, giving Nightshade even more of a boost to their motivation. One more round to bring them to match point, but it seems like Tonka has different plans in mind. Able to bring it back, able to bring it to 3 players versus 4, and at this point, Nightshade, they've looked good, but let's see whether or not they can do anything more.
Nice little pivot towards this B site, realizing that they can cut their losses as they are still technically ahead. Oh boy. Landed on up though. Unit's going to have a tough one here, trying to peek with this operator towards heaven. Hopefully, they wait for their teammates to help join them, provide that information. You see the Vice Tonka just being a little bit caught out. Not quite sure of what's going to happen, and oh, that's a big gamble for sure. Going 2 players out without any sort of information, not even waiting for your third to get there, and of course, Nightshade should be rewarded with that map and tournament point.
That's 12 rounds, doubling what K9 Unit has been able to pick up so far. Nightshade, they are looking phenomenal. And now, even if the Steel Garden comes out from Tonka, Shadows can just kind of pull out the Blade Storm and have another weapon that won't be really able to be taken offline by K9 Unit. So honestly, I think this is the round. This is the round that Nightshade can win it out. But it's all going to come down to this because there's a huge gamble on the side of K9 Unit once more where they play extremely aggressive towards the A site. Now it's coming down to who's the team to really pull ahead here.
Who's next?
Very, very nerve-wracking as this could be the one round that separates these two teams from champion. the secondary consolation prize. Strong, tall guy. They'll be holding their space here. Heavy damage done, and Papa Smurf will fall early. You see all of the rotates happen on over towards this A site. Very aggressive peek there, just for information. The shots, they're going to land. And Yoshi, at least the one-for-one trade. Tonka will find one of their own before going as well onto the site. And there's the pivots, everybody over towards B.
Diverging away towards the B site. Now this ISO might be able to call out Kuno. Right now, it doesn't seem like that's the case. Called out with their knife out. And that's going to do it. Kill goes through. Nightshade takes the player advantage. A little bit too aggressive, too hostile from the ISO. And that eagerness is going to lead to their death. But unfortunately, it's going to be the exact same thing that'll allow K9 Unit to equalize this match. There might be a little bit of indecisiveness coming in from the side of Nightshade. Can't figure out a site they want to hit. Looking to one it. One player B, one player A. Now Nightshade. They need to find this kill before no one can do much. And at 27 HP, this was the right call from them. Over towards K9 Unit's side, though. They are having that little bit of indecisiveness coming out from the Vice, but they're instantly going to start rotating in. Mr. Weagle starts to plant, but oh, that might do it. We're going longer and longer. 5 seconds remaining.
No time.
Needing to get the spike, but there's just no time. That's going to do it, and there's going to be another round converted over to K9 Unit.
Well, we continue onwards. Just barely K9 Unit escape an extra chance at victory. Again, 5 more needed before they can even get to that OT that they certainly would like to see. And Yoshi using that Steel Garden forces off the rotates from everybody on that A site all the way towards B. And Nightshade, they unfortunately just pick and choose the wrong battles. You could see them getting a bit antsy towards the execute there. The trades, although decently in their favor, ended up not going too well for them in the end. And Nightshade's still going to be left just waiting for a taste of that victory.
Deploying drone.
Nightshade with 2 ults in the bank. Not 2 of the most impactful ones on the team's roster, but it's 2 that can easily be something that can help close out a game. Great call from them. Not pushing the judge. That intuition is there, and it is strong. Aspas almost getting called out. There's the gate crash. Oh, the info. Every little bit of utility forcing this ISO into a bad spot, but smoke start to dissipate. Shadows on a little bit of vertical mobility, potentially going to be able to call somebody out, but nobody to peek. They're all playing scared. They're all ready to fight, and this is what we call respecting your enemy. Flash comes through, but Unit to fall. The peek was not it, and it leads to a little bit of faltering. Nightshade, they're still up. They have that player advantage. Blazestorm secures the next. This is it. Looking to shut the door. Nova's going to be the next with the bow out. They cannot find the arrow. And that's a 1v4 situation. It's all up to Tonka. We've seen miracle plays tonight, but no more miracles alive. It's going to be Shadows closing it out on a triple kill to bring us a 13-7 victory. And that's going to be Nightshade taking home the VRS Season 2 #1 victory.
K9 Unit caught barking up the wrong tree. Their hopes and dreams covered up by the Nightshade on the other side. Nightshade indeed your tournament champions here, 2-1 fashion in the grand finals. And Tonka, the MVP of this map, truly holding their own here when it looked like you could count them out.